after more than 3 months in London on medical vacation, President Muhammad Buhari returned to the country on Saturday. And this morning, he addressed us. In his speech, the president spoke about Nigeria's unity, agitation, and the war on Boko Haram, among other things. All right, starting with his countenance first. Let's before we start getting into the speech. What do you think? I mean, it was obviously he was ill because from seeing the way he looked a bit frail, but he looked stronger than other pictures we've seen. What are your thoughts on how he looked first before we get into the speech?
In terms of how he looked,
right.
we don't even, the speech is, the video is one, but we saw the video of how the representatives of the media team were celebrating when they saw him walking. Because for them, it was a miracle that he was able to be that active. Right. So we knew the president was extremely ill. We didn't know the condition. We were not told the condition or what was the cause. But we are happy that, and we've been praying for him, and we're happy that he's okay. At least he's able to stand, you know. I question, however, if he can handle the conditions of Nigeria's crisis right now in that health condition. And this I'm saying, if he's my grandfather, which he's old enough to be, I will be concerned that, Grandpa, you're not feeling too well. You know, like, he might be able to. I'm just saying, but he's healthy. As compared to 100 days, he's healthy. And we're happy that he's okay.
Because remember, he was saying that the reason why he's staying there is because based on doctors' instructions. So obviously, the doctors probably feel he's okay enough to run
Nigeria
the country.
36 states.
Well, so what are your thoughts, Jumoke, your thoughts on the president's speech?
It was really interesting that his speech started with criticisms about what has been going on social media. For me, that's a victory. Before the advent of social media and people taking to it, we always thought that we were powerless. You know, we couldn't do anything. And I remember that even to garner support for his presidency, you know, a lot of it was based on social media. And so the youth now know their power and they go on there to say their minds, you know, and I found that it has ruffled the feathers of some of our leaders, you know, the comments going on social media. I'm also happy about his stance on security. In his 3-point agenda when he was coming into governance, security was on top of it. We've seen the rise of attacks by Boko Haram in his absence. So we're happy that he's talking tough on security. He mentioned financial security, economic security, which is an offshoot of general security.
Well, it was interesting that he didn't mention any particular group. He didn't mention Arewa, he didn't mention
IPOB or anything.
He just
in mentioning Ojukwu and how Ojukwu had come to his house, it was in reference to IPOB. You know, that, you know, you have to be careful. My only downer for me, and people say here's, you know, left the economy and economic matters to the vice president, so he really didn't need to say anything about it. But look, the vice president has been in power for 105 days, and financial analysts were saying that everyone is still waiting for what the president's focus on the economy will be. As much as you have delegated that, what you say will determine what the international community will take seriously.
And there's a school of thought that he couldn't have said that within a short...
No,
why not?
Let me tell you what...
Just tell us what your focus is.
Thing, what they were saying, let me read what Guardian said, actually. What the financial experts were actually saying was that the weight on the president's speech is based on an assessment by the financial experts that the social-political economy of the country has recorded a significant progress in Buhari's absence, which stands to be validated or reversed by his speech today and subsequent decisions. So they're not saying it was based on his speech today. We're just saying it might actually improve or bring down.
So has it been validated by his speech?
You can't tell that now because he just spoke this morning. So his subsequent decisions after the speech that we now know if it's going to strengthen
the things that you say about the economy that will validate the growth in the economy.
You can't measure that now. That's what I'm saying. You're right, but you can't measure that now based on just 4 minutes speech.
Well, when he comes with his final conclusions in the speech, you say that he's coming together to, that we should come together to face common challenges of economic security. I think to me, it tells me that, okay, he understands that we have challenges and he understands the power of unity in solving that problem. My own challenge with the speech, Mariah, I believe in, when we say sovereign nation, sovereignty means that you are independent of anything. So imagine our president was in the hands of one doctor for 100
a group of doctors.
Yes, or a group of doctors for 105 days. For me, if anything, maybe those doctors, somebody was what's it called, a mole or something.
Conspiracy.
Something would have happened. I would have also, I was waiting for him to mention how he was going to improve our health sector in this speech. I'm telling you, it would not, no, Mariah, because it was health challenge that took him out of this country. I would have been more comfortable for him to say, you know what, I'm happy that I'm alive, I'm grateful that I'm alive, but I don't think this would happen again in the history of Nigeria, that I have to go outside of the country. We will make sure we fix the health situation of our economy, of our country. I would have been very happy if I heard that.
That's a good point. But you see, that, alongside several other issues, are just as pertinent. But he's focused on security alone. So I think
he focused on political.
I think
he focused on economy.
And social media.
He focused on security, which is what's it called? Boko Haram.
Social media.
The crux of everything he spoke about this morning was security. So the point is that other issues will probably be raised subsequently. But now,
but this is the first time, Murayo. It's an opportunity.
I haven't given my opinion concerning the speech, because my expectation was that if you've been outside the country for over 100 days, and in the year over 160 days, 160 days in this year, when you come back with everybody praying for you, and he acknowledged that we've been praying for him, I would have expected that we would know what his health condition was.
Bam! I just wanted to mention that.
At least tell us, I have survived so and so. Thank you for your prayer and your support, because we own him.
Mariah,
like it or not, we own him. When you take that oath of office at any position, the people you're serving own you. And we are grateful to God he's alive, but we expect when you leave loopholes in information, people will fill it with wrong information. Give us the information.
Okay, let me take this call from Yola. Morning, are you there?
And I have questions.
Yes, I'm there.
Go ahead, Salu. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, I call to congratulate all Nigerians on the safe return of our president.
Yes.
The charismatic president of Nigeria, loved by all Nigerians.
We love him.
We are happy to welcome him back.
We are happy.
And we expect his arrival in Nigeria to have positive impact on our economy and to rejuvenate the war against insurgency as we have witnessed.
All right, thank you very much, Salu. Yes, Jumoke.
I have a question for you, Mario.
Me?
Yes.
All right.
So, as a Nigerian who is paying tax, do you know who pays for the president's hospital bills in the UK?
We do.
Femi Adesina said that.
So his spokesperson, Femi Adesina, said that he doesn't know.
He doesn't know.
Did you know also that the presidential jet was parked in the UK for 105 days, this last time that he went, and the initial time that he went? We are the ones paying the bills, be it from our patrimony. And they say, I know some of us are not paying tax, but it's oil money. It is Nigeria's money. So any president at all ought to come out, particularly because we just footed your bill. So, thank you. May I finish?
Yes, please.
Thank you for all the prayers and support. I thank God for the vice president who has been doing a great job. I had malaria, and that's why I had to be out of the country. Going forward, we're going to do this, that. People are saying you can't address everything in the speech. I didn't say you should break down their blueprints for economy. I'm saying bullet points. Okay, so in 5 minutes, you could have addressed everything.
Because what this speech tells me, Mariah, is that if something happens that somebody else needs to travel outside of the country, they will not see it that it's a problem. It's a big problem, Mariah. This morning, I got a very painful news. One doctor that I know so well, she is super brilliant. This is a first-class material. They were struggling. Universities were struggling for her to come and study. I just got news this morning that she has relocated to the UK.
Why won't she go?
Why would she not go to the UK? We have all our doctors, all the best hands in the world. You will be shocked that amongst the medical team in London are Nigerians.
God bless you.
So why can't you come out as your first speech? I would have been very, very, motivated to hear him say that we are going to fix the healthcare sector. Then you know that we are going somewhere.
Let me take
We need security though.
Kole, are you there? Thanks for calling.
Yes, I'm here.
Mabuja, go ahead, please.
Good morning, ladies.
Morning.
Yeah, that speech is a disappointment, actually.
but I didn't expect much from that speech.
Me too.
But the problem with Nigeria is the youth. The youth of this country, we are not helping matters at all.
At all.
At all, we are not helping. Ask the people celebrating what they are celebrating.
That is back.
What they are celebrating. The president came around and everybody started running about, risking their life on the road. What are they celebrating?
We're celebrating that he's alive and back.
Yeah, I think
we should celebrate things that are what
Celebrating.
But the truth is that he's our president.
Yeah.
So guess what happened?
So he's
I was
alive
going to talk
and
about
it's worth celebrating, actually.
a hospital in Kaduna that is willing to give anyone free surgery for the next 7 days in celebration of that the president is back. And the
That was
Kogi
fantastic
State,
news.
the Kogi, why didn't they do it before? And the Kogi State government that declared a public holiday today. What exactly are they doing?
Owing 15 months salary.
Has governance now become a joke?
Pledging loyalty.
But I want to say something.
Pledging loyalty. You see, because the idea of declaring public holidays is to show that I love the president so much. So you did not pray on Friday.
And
You did not pray on Saturday. You didn't pray on Sunday. You decided to spend Monday morning, declaring Monday, the entire day, as public holiday to do Thanksgiving. That the president is back.
And that's a young governor.
I want to quickly add that, you know, for the president to have acknowledged that he went through social media, I'm telling the youth, you have the power.
Yes, so.
Do you think he's not listening? You think he's not hearing? He's hearing you. I think the youth need to be more constructive in our criticism so that when we are dealing with issues, we know how to hit it, that it will go straight on home run.
We have to take a break.
That's
So we are happy that he's back.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we just don't think it's deserving of a public holiday because, hey, we're trying to grow the economy for heaven's sake. Why would you want a public holiday? People should get to work.
They've not received salary in 15
Hit the ground
months.
running.
All right, let's take a break. When we come back, we're going to continue the conversation on ASUU. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So prior to the commencement of the indefinite nationwide industrial action by the Academic Staff Union of Universities, ASUU, the Minister of Education, Malam Adamu, during their last meeting said that the ongoing strike by ASUU may be called off within 1 week. Also, the ministry and other major stakeholders were already holding meetings with the union to resolve some of the issues that led to the strike. That's actually this morning, I think they're having that meeting. But joining us is a lecturer, Philosophy Department, Dr. Dan Ikere. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's always my pleasure.
Before we talk about ASUU, we'd like to hear your views on our president's speech, the fact that Kogi State is going on public holiday today. So what are your thoughts generally on the speech?
Well, thank you. I didn't quite get the entire speech because I came in midway. However, there are a few segments of it, and from your discussions, you've highlighted some of it. You know, and yeah, it could be said that the speech was brief. Very. And because he has not perhaps been brief with about all the happenings. True. And I think that would be a failure on the part of
his media team.
Not just the media team, the entire government machinery.
But pause for a second. I read in the papers also that nobody knew he was coming back. Even the ministers did not know. They were shocked. He was really, really kept under wraps. That was that much. He said that I think he didn't tell us who knew, but it was very clear that the ministers were clueless about his return. But go ahead, please.
That would not be correct because at least we were told
2 days before.
Yes, that the man will be leaving, and even when he took off from London, we were equally told. What does it take for ministers to?
That's what I read in the papers.
Are you getting it? So now I expected that if all the things they were telling us before now were anything to go by, they would have been giving the man bit by bit report of what was going on. That this is the situation at home. So he's coming. All these things would have been put together. There's nothing like he just came in, it's too short for no, which means he has been totally removed.
Dr. Jan, even from his speech.
Now, the speech is supposed to address very salient issues.
God bless you, sir.
Issues, security, well, he has talked about that. Even the issue of the very future of Nigeria. As we speak, ASUU is on strike. That was not mentioned, the issue of education. The economy, okay, you say you've handed it over to the vice president. Then it means that the vice president is the final authority on economic issues. Is that what you are saying? The buck ends on his table. As a matter of fact, he is the reason why this party is in power. Not the vice president, despite the fact that they are all part of the team. So we expected that when he's talking to us, he should be comprehensive to a larger extent. At least to the point of giving us the points.
Dan, did you see anything positive about, what is the positive, what positivity do you see in the speech? You can't just say that you didn't see. What did you see?
Okay.
Well, what you might call positive, one of it is that, okay, they said himself and Ojukwu met sometime, and they said the unity of Nigeria is not, and I think that is a very wrong understanding of unity. In fact, to secure unity, you need to negotiate. Negotiation is part of, strengthening of unity. You need to continually keep yourself abreast with issues that bind you together. But that's why he mentioned in his speech. To say that is not negotiable.
Dr. Dan, he mentioned in his speech that is the beauty of democracy. That it is not about, throwing fisticuffs, that everybody has the right to be heard. So he already understands that part of negotiation. So he's open and he's willing to listen to all. And he said, no, hold on. That is from his speech now. And he said that every party has, we're analyzing the speech, that everybody has the right to their grievances.
Let's talk about ASUU. Could you please
hold on, we will switch. We will switch. Everybody has their right to their own grievances, and everybody's grievance will be heard. So he already addressed the part of negotiation.
No, that's not negotiation. That somebody says something somewhere that you heard. It's not negotiation. You see, in negotiation, you exchange views and you drive towards a direction. All right, but to say that
it is not negotiable.
There's no negotiable. Right. I think it's a very.
I think we can hold that for a second, because the president just got back, and we expect that more things going to happen next few days. So we'll see. We'll observe that.
Yeah, you should not be mistaken to say that we are not happy that he's back.
We are happy. That, all right? We are all very overjoyed. Can't you see? Jumoke is even extra.
I'm wearing red.
All right, but let's go back to one of the issues that we're hoping the president would have talked about, which is ASUU. We have with us Dr. Isaac Oyewumi, is the chairman ASUU, Lagos State University. Are you there, sir?
I'm with you, man.
Thanks for being on air with us today. Can you give us an update? Because we know there's supposed to be a meeting this morning. Has the meeting started? What are the issues you're discussing with the federal government on ASUU strike?
The issues are as were listed.
Yes.
As at the time the strike began. And so there are nothing new that we are adding. And I couldn't be updating you on a meeting that is yet to get underway.
Okay, we thought the meeting would have actually already started, but so we'll be calling you subsequently. I think maybe by this morning, when Mr. Folarin is on the phone, on the air, he'll probably call you again. But we just wanted to get an update on what's going on in the meeting. But
has the meeting even started?
They haven't started. He just said they haven't started.
Can I ask a question though? The former Minister of Education, Obi Ezekwesili, is saying that the ASUU demand for 1 trillion naira is unrealistic. Do you agree with her?
I wouldn't agree with that. If we would agree to that, we would not be making the request. Remember, this was a sum agreed by both parties since 2009.
So, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right.
I have a question, please. The minister has said that one of the things required from ASUU is to specify audited report of how the money disbursed previously has been spent.
30 billion.
Do you have that the figure and the audited reports down? Because before you can ask for more, we have to see how well you spent the one that was given to you before.
Yes, sir.
I heard my brother in the house saying that they said, they will say it's not negotiation. These statements are not statements expected from a structured government. Will you expect the union, Ratawu, of the organization to be the one to be giving the public or the stakeholders of the organization the annual returns of TVC?
No, sir.
ASUU doesn't manage the funds. We struggle this way to ensure that funds get to the university for these institutions to run. And so it's mistaken to turn around to want to ask ASUU for audited accounts. Interestingly, for the last 8 months, this was why we were waiting, because this strike was quite long due. The government said it's interested in auditing and that they will get back to us by June ending. And so we are and some people will turn around to ask ASUU for the record of audited accounts.
Okay, let me forward my question
to our collective integrity as a nation.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Ayewumi. We're definitely going to call you back, hopefully by the next program, just to get an update on what's going on during the negotiations. Thank you very much.
Can I come to Dr. Dan? Because I wanted to ask him, but you're here, so... There were issues about TSA. Yeah. I don't understand that issue. Probably you help us break it down. What was the issue with TSA and ASUU? That's one. And number two, I am of the opinion that I think going forward, ASUU should start concentrating on how to generate funds internally from the university to be able to be self-sufficient. They don't need, backing from federal government. Help me understand if that is even feasible. Okay.
Let me start from the first question with respect to Dr. Obi-Ezekwesili. Yeah, we need to understand that the 1.3 trillion mentioned was not ASUU's projection. ASUU prompted the federal government over the demands. They prompted the federal government to eventually constitute a committee, and that is the needs assessment. Yes. That committee was the one that came up with the report that you need about 1.3 trillion naira to revitalize the Nigerian university system. Now, so it wasn't ASUU. This committee was set up by the federal government. It went around the universities and came up with that position. And I'm sure it is even more than what ASUU was actually, yeah. So if government's own committee has come up to say that this is what you need to revitalize the system, then I expected that Dr. Obi-Ezekwesili should be addressing government, not ASUU.
Okay, the next one.
That is a one. Then the issue of account for the 30 billion and the rest. Yeah. You see, I do not know why, people will be talking as if ASUU is the one they release funds to. ASUU never disburses funds. ASUU never receives funds from universities, from government. Government does not pay money to ASUU. ASUU as a body, the only money they have is the contribution of their members. That is the only money ASUU has, hand in. But if you are now talking about monies disbursed to university, it is the government that appointed vice chancellors, the government appointed pro-chancellors, the government appointed, in fact, the council, and these are the people who head the council. And there's a council that, discusses issues of management of funds of the university. So we should be asking the government, have you demanded accountability from those
people you employed?
Yes, not ASUU. ASUU has no, all the contracts that they give in schools, ASUU does not sign contracts. So we need to, channel, because a number of times, a lot of people who might not know this always ask ASUU about all the ASUU.
Why don't
no, because all I get is my salary, nothing else. Now, the contract, I don't get anything from it. I have no hand in it. We don't even determine how you give the contract.
So why are you not asking for TSA?
Wait, TSA.
No, you see, the issue of TSA, we need to be clear.
Let's pause for a second. We're going to come back from a break. When we come back, we'll discuss the issue of TSA. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back. Welcome back to Your View.
Thanks for staying with us. So you're talking about the TSA and ASUU.
Yeah, so the issue of TSA, when this government came on board, it brought the issue of TSA to effect. Although the idea did not originate with this government.
Yeah, the policy had been on ground before.
Yes, but it was this government that actually decided to implement it. Yes. And the idea was that, and it's in line with Constitution anyway, that all the funds of the federal government should go to the federal government's account. That? Now, this is the position. See, but when ASUU is talking about some level of exemption, ASUU is not saying that government funds should not go to government accounts. You see, but there are some, look at it this way. Some departments have journals. And these journals, articles are contributed from here and there all over the world. It's the departments that run these journals. All those accounts went to TSA. So I don't know whether it is government that generated those monies that have to go to TSA. But that's just, one of the issues. Now, you find out that certain bodies, a particular, organization might come and say, okay, I want to do this thing with this university. And we have voted so much for this project. And for as long as the university does not run any other account, that money goes to TSA. Now you begin to have this bottleneck of release of funds. Yeah. So there are a lot of those issues. So also you're saying that there should be some peculiarities. And those things should be taken off the TSA.
Let me take this call from Musa. Musa, are you there from Niger State?
So the internally generated...
So on the issue of internally generated revenues, yes, there are some universities that are positioned, depending on their environment and what have you, that could generate some funds. All right? But I do not think that all the universities have what it takes to do that. If you look at University of Lagos, for instance, at least it stands in such an environment that it can generate some funds to a very large extent.
Doctor.
They've been able to build an image. They've been able to build,
Doctor,
you know.
I don't agree with you on
I don't
that.
agree. I think every university can. We have brains.
No, listen. It's not just a question
I went to Unilag. I know what he's saying.
It's not just a question of they have brains. All right? Now, when you talk about generation of funds, the first and the surest way to start with is fees.
Yes.
Are you suggesting? Because what the first? Now, what it takes to train an average student is what you get from these private universities.
Yes.
That is it. Yes. Now, if we were to go by that, I'm telling you, we'll be making education unreachable for so many people.
I'm not talking about fees.
Secondly, when you talk about generating of funds, how do you generate funds? Maybe the kind of researches you make that will attract. Yes. Now, do we sell human beings to embark on these researches? Do we sell the school?
Do we fund it?
How do we should I sell my father's house that I want to do a research for
God
university?
bless you.
So you still need the funding first.
Yeah,
let me
take this call from Peter. Peter from Surulere, are you there? Please.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning, go ahead, please.
Actually, because I was expecting you people to talk about this also because I'm a student at Anambra State University. Actually, a final year student, which you're meant to resume September 4th. Because I'm just so sick and tired of all this strike. Because come to think of it, I'm in my final year. But I'm not really blaming ASUU for them as holding this strike. Because I believe they're doing it for our own good.
Yes, so.
Now, when it comes to about structures in our school, they also deal with theory. They don't really teach us the practical. I'm offering urban and regional planning.
What's the quality?
That's what ASUU is actually fighting for. They are talking about internally generated funds. When I was in Unilag, I only spent 4 years. My VC at the time abandoned federal government and just handled his own ASUU and said, don't worry, I will generate funds. We started making Unilag bread, Unilag water. They started selling shops for women to come and do small kiosks and everything. Unilag started generating his own funds to the extent our lecturers started buying cars because at the end of Christmas, they'll give them rice, they'll give them oil. Our lecturers were happy. They were publishing books and making money. Guess what? The federal government came and looked at us. Are you people actually academicians or you're just here to come and selling bread? Because you're supposed to be researching into solution. Let me give you another example. One professor in OAU, by himself, constructed the pounding machine. The federal government did not fund the research. He had to take his research outside Nigeria. Now we are importing that pounding machine that was initially designed by Nigeria. So is it not federal government funding?
Bring me back to the place of the government, because at this point in time, when we waited for 100 days to see our president and he comes back and we don't sense hope, because everybody that has called feels that there was something lacking in that message. And I think what we were lacking was hope. We want to feel that our president is feeling what we felt in his absence over the past 3 months he was not around, and that he has plans for us to make us feel better.
I think that's general. I think that's pretty. Do you agree? That thinking is almost general. But let me come to you.
Yes, certainly. For me, I've always been an advocate of good governance, and good governance has a lot of indices. You know. One is that you need to have the understanding of what is needed by your people. You need to have the will to want to bring that to pass. Then you must have a way of raising the hope of your people. Because the moment the people become hopeless, no matter what you do, you are going to run into serious troubles. So much expectation. The same expectation was actually, you know, prompted by APC. Even before they were elected, there was so much, you know, hope raised. And because of that expectation, even the little they are doing is not making any meaning to a lot of people, because you created the pressure that there will be Eldorado as soon as APC comes on board. And that is not what we are getting.
After 2
now,
years.
with Buhari coming back, a lot of people were thinking that the moment the man comes back, just like some say the lion has returned and all manner of names have been given.
Could it be just his personality? Maybe that's just kind of person
you see, the thing is that it's not just the personality. It's equally a function of propaganda. You know, it's a function of propaganda. So now, his personality, yes, he has a personality. He has an image that is attractive, that is respectful, and all the rest. You see, but propaganda is equally added to it. Okay. Now, but when you look at the man who has just returned, yeah, though stronger than the last time he returned, I don't see that this is a man who needs so much, you know, here and there disturbances. He needed some rest. I'm thinking that it's some pressure that brought him back. I don't want to
deny vigil in London.
Olaleko Adeyemi says he's just got back. Press secretary and the media pub and advisors should be blamed for the incomprehensive speech of the president. Ademi Roji is talking about ASUU. He said if ASUU is given exemptions, other sectors as hospitals, etc., will also go on strike to request exemptions.
Oluseyi Afolabi says LAUTECH has been closed for more than 400 days. Ajibola Ola says apart from the unions turning out job-seeking graduates, what do the unions do to reshape the socio-political outlook of Nigeria? Reverend says Nigeria's unity and coexistence is negotiable. Buhari or whoever wrote that script should know this. Ejiro says federal governments don't care about Nigeria's educational system because all their children school abroad.
Jay Kwando says, what do you expect from a governor who was elected by only 5,000 voters? Then that man is bereft of ideas.
That would be the Kogi.
Bereft of ideas. Then Okpeyemi says, welcome back to Mr. President. It shouldn't be about the speech. We should just pray for him in order to move the nation forward. He needs prayers.
We need to round up, but I think concerning ASUU, as we said, we'll continually have...
One issue that we didn't address is this issue of this Kogi public holiday thing.
Please.
You know,
1 second.
Yes, I am thinking that that level of overzealousness is not needed in our government. Yes. You see, we need people who have ideas. A number of times we'll say the youth. It's not just about youth alone. It's about people who have ideas. Now, when Plato was...
The governor is a youth, actually. I mean, he's early 40s. Young man.
But again, he was not prepared for the office.
Yes, so he wasn't voted.
This is an opportunist.
Yes.
You know, it was as a result of the death of the other man that he was brought in. Even though the man had a deputy with whom they had an idea of what they wanted to do, you know, politics brought about somebody else. But we need to understand that to be in positions of responsibility of this kind, you need to have an understanding of what that office entails. You don't just please Mr. President to the detriment of the people. Because this is a state that has not been able to pay salaries. And you are shutting down the economic activities of that state. To me, that is devilish.
Oops. What's his National Assembly
Unfortunately,
doing?
we have to round up. But I think we need to round up with, I think Tokwe pretty much capped it of that. We needed hope. That speech needed to give us hope. Like, okay, I've been gone over 100 days and I'm back now. Don't worry, we're going to make it. It's going to happen. We didn't get that. We just got the security. So but let's do, we're still hopeful that things will get much better. Have a fabulous day. Thank you, ladies. We'll see you tomorrow. Celebration 2017 is still on in London. Please, let's support
Notting Hill Carnival.
All right. Have a lovely day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.